So welcome everyone. I am the Capacity Development Coordinator, Joanne Hughes, and I'm very happy to see everyone here today. This is the second Lunch and Learn that we've done this year. The first one was cybersecurity. You can find all the Lunch and Learns that we are doing this year on our OFA website if you're unable to attend it in person or virtually, sorry. You can find them under resources and under webinar. And all of these will be put up on our website within a few days after the presentations. For the most part, these Lunch and Learns will be done the last Wednesday of the month for the most part. It might change a little bit in the summer depending on the busy farming schedule. The first webinar that we did was cybersecurity. As I said, you know where to find it if you weren't able to attend. And I'm just trying to make sure that I have all my notes before we start off with Austin Brown. As you can see on the screen, Austin Brown will be speaking about the AgriMentorship program, Women Mentorship, Mentee Mentorship. Austin is part of our OFA research team, and so I will turn it over to Austin. Welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Joanne. Thanks for the introduction and the warm welcome to everyone. I'm sure we'll have other people filtering in as we go, but I'm happy to get going here. As Joanne said, my name's Austin Brown. I'm the Agriculture Economic Development Policy Analyst at OFA. I am sitting in for Danielle Sharman on her maternity leave, and I have greatly enjoyed doing it. So one of the big files that's come across my desk is our Women in Ag file, and it has been a joy to work on because of the stakeholders I get connected to and a couple of the projects that I get attached to. And AgriMentor is one of those great programs that I've been so lucky to be a part of. And what my role has been with the AgriMentor program has been essentially promotion. And I'm very excited to tell you all more about it. So why don't we jump into the content? So AgriMentor and something called Dimension E, these are programs that will help with women in agriculture and professional development. So to start, we shall just do a brief summary of the presentation for our wonderful OFA members. We'll kick it off with the introduction of myself, Women in Ag stats and OFA statistics. Then I'll give a brief explanation of what the programs are, who deliver them, and how to register. And then at the end, we'll have a fun little interactive thing with a little program called Slido. And you get to have a bit of your say on what you think. And I'd be really happy to see some good levels of engagement with it because it would help me out a ton in understanding where member interest is with the AgriMentor program, and we can pass that along to our partners who are delivering it. So, women at OFA, we have a fantastic group of people at OFA, and the majority of them are women. So in our leadership, our general manager, Kathy Lennon, is a woman, and our most recent past president is also a woman, Peggy Brookfield. Our board of directors, as of last year, so just before we elected our new board, was 38% women. And we're very proud to say that, as that's above the national and Ontario average for farm operators. So we are operating above average when it comes to women involved with OFA. Then we can take a look at our staff. So we have 65% women on staff helping lead the way here at OFA and delivering the great programming and information and lobby that we do. And then let's take the flip side where we have women in ag across the nation and the province. So here you can see the number and the percentage of female farm operators. So we do know nationally over the last 30 years, the number of farm operators have gone down. But with that, we've seen the number of farm operator women, percentage-wise,
Maybe down a little
rise.
bit, but I don't think it's any comparison.
Just a note, if you are joining, make sure that your mic is muted,
best
just
would
so
be
we don't get a bit of background chatter. We will do our best to keep up with muting mics, but that is it is kind of difficult when we have a bunch of people joining. Anyway, I digress. So as the number of farmers overall has gone down, the percentage of female farm operators has risen nationally to about 30.5% of all farm operators. Excuse me. Now, in Ontario, we are above the national average. We have around 31% of our operators in Ontario are women. So we're very proud to say that we are outpacing the rest of the nation. And at OFA, we are proud of our female farm members, and we think that it's great progress that the percentage is rising. But there's no reason that we can't continue to help support our women in ag, and whether that's our OFA members or just in general across the province. So now I thought it would be fun to include a couple of the fantastic ladies who help make OFA run. And you may know some of these people, and they may be some fresh faces to you. And like I said, a staff of 65% women, and you can see them in action here in some of these shots. It's not an exhaustive list, but we're very proud of the work that they do. So why are we on the call today? What are these programs? Briefly, I'll say that Dimension E is a national program that is delivered provincially across every province in the nation, obviously. And then we have the AgriMentor program, which is an aspect of that national women's development program that helps in each province mentors and mentees join each other to have professional development and support. And I can get into a little bit more about that in a moment, but let me tell you a bit more about who delivers these programs. So with the overarching Dimension E program, it's a commodity group out of Quebec, and they're called Agricultrices du Québec, and they have done some great work. They're part of UPA, which is the Quebecois edition or version, if you will, of OFA in Ontario. And then for the AgriMentor program, which we're helping deliver in Ontario, it is being delivered in Ontario by UCFO, so Union des Cultivars Franco-Ontariens. So essentially our French farmers here in Ontario, and we are thrilled to be working with them on AgriMentor and a number of other issues, like all of our member commodity groups. The funding is from Innovation, Science, and Economic Development Canada. And yeah, I'm just really happy to have everyone on. I'm looking at some of our participant numbers, and it's continuing to grow, which is great. So welcome if you're just joining. So what can a mentor in the AgriMentor expect to provide? So mentors are going to help their mentees with somewhat of an assessment of where their mentees are in their current ag business, helping develop that and planning. They can help to develop what a mentee knows about agriculture, their business, networking, and maybe their life in general, and give some information and ag experience. And then, of course, they can help provide feedback that helps push his mentees in the right direction when it comes to their farm business or agri-food work. And then what should be provided to our mentees? It's essentially the flip side of the coin of what the mentor gives, but I will give you a bit of detail here. So support in their professional lives as agriculturalists, including things like time and priority management, problem solving, planning, and getting connected to their ag community. Mentees can also expect the ability to sit down with their mentor and consider how they can move forward with their ag business. And maybe most importantly, networking. Expansion of your contacts is so important. And with the AgriMentor program and being paired up with your mentor, hopefully your agri-food sector contacts get expanded, and whether that's within your commodity or in the sector in general. Excuse me. So why don't I take a pause here to just give a little bit more detail about the specific ins and outs of the program before I get back to some of the member feedback that we've heard so far. So when you sign up for AgriMentor, you can expect to be in the program for 6 months. If you're a mentee, you'll get paired with a mentor and vice versa. And then you'll be able to meet once a month virtually at minimum. If you really hit it off, you can do more than that. There's no rules against that. And it's to provide what we've just talked about, support, professional development, and that. The program did debut a pilot last year, and there are mentors and mentees paired up currently, but we are really excited to continue to have member uptake, especially here in Ontario. So why don't I let you in on some of the early returns that members have reported. So we have a few interesting items from the AgriMentor program, some thoughts here, that some members have expressed that they wish they had previously had access to mentorship, that now that they're further along in their career, they see that they would have had a ton of value in getting someone who was more experienced with them, and they wish that they could have had that. So hopefully those people then turn around and give that support as a mentor. We've also seen that some members have been thinking about what mentorship could provide them now that they're a new agriculturalist and they're looking to expand their business or break in. And there's a few things like brainstorming, for example. So when you want to expand into something like agritourism as it relates to your commodity, and you just aren't really sure how to get started, or maybe land use issues seem too daunting and it's just not worth it. Well, maybe a mentor can help really bridge those gaps for you and get there. Motivation. Having someone that you can lean on helps with the motivation to get out there. So let's say you've had a bit of bad luck and something goes wrong on farm, and you have someone to help you with the next steps and really get you going back to where you were or where you want to be. Then with skills and knowledge, I think some people, well, I know some people learn better from watching or listening as opposed to reading. So a mentor could help with that skill and knowledge development that maybe you feel you're lacking in your given commodity or your business dealings. And then another example is guidance and personal connections. So potentially through this program, you could earn a lifelong friend to lean on and to enjoy time with, or someone who can connect you to people that make you feel that way as well. And then finally, a head start. So just a head start so that you don't feel like you have to learn it all on your own from scratch, and you can really get going in your ag business. And that's really what the aim of today is. So I'm hoping that through the AgriMentor initiative, that we can have, with this member-facing presentation, we can continue to develop the amount of people that have signed up for the AgriMentor program and that really thrive within it. And that brings me to our next point, is the progress so far on Ontario and our uptake with the AgriMentor program in English language versus the rest of English Canada. And can you guess who the leader is so far? I'm not going to make everyone do a poll just yet. We're going to save polls for later. But surprise, surprise, Ontario is already outpacing the rest of English Canada put together from the last statistics, that I saw. So I'm thrilled with that. I am so happy that our members are listening to our MSR's presentations when they bring up AgriMentor, or taking in our newswire, which is one of our newsletters that we send out, or looking at our social channels like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube even, and seeing that there's this women's professional development and they want to be on either side of it as a mentor or mentee. And I would really like to keep that progress going and continue to outpace the rest of Canada and prove time and time again that here in Ontario, we are empowering women in ag, and we believe that we can continue to be leaders in that space. And then don't worry, if you do sign up on either side of being a mentor or a mentee relationship, it won't be the Wild West. UCFO is doing a great job with providing training, and they're going to help better prepare our mentors in their support role. So the next training, if you sign up in time as a mentor, you can come on and they'll send you a link through your email after you've signed up. March 26th, it's running from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And they'll just help give you the ins and outs of how you can better provide service to your mentee. Okay, so I've got you interested now. Now what? How do we get you from this presentation into UCFO's AgriMentor program? Great question. So you can go to UCFO's website. If you Googled UCFO and AgriMentor, you would arrive at this page. Or in the chat, you'll see Joanne has dropped a link to this page, which helps bring you towards learning more about being a mentor or mentee. And I would love it if you all would click that page and at least save the link for later. And when you click on the initial page, if you click mentor, it will bring you down to this area of the page, which tells you a little bit more about the program, some of the benefits of being a mentor and what you can offer. Or if you click on being a mentee, it will take you down to this portion of the page. And you'll notice here, I'm going to put my mouse on screen here, sign me up. That should be on both our mentor portion and mentee portion. Sign me up. And when we click that link, that will bring us to a page that looks like this. Now it's a couple pages long. I think it's about 3 or 4 pages. And you put in a little bit of information about yourself, and you can see some of the contact info of Adelphine at UCFO. She's fantastic and bilingual. So no matter if you want to have this programming in French or English, she can help you out. She does great work. And I believe should be on the call today, actually. So you would put this information in and get signed up, and then it's out of my hands. Unfortunately, that's all I can do is lead you to the program, but then UCFO's very capable hands will be taking over. So now it's something that I like to call Slido time. Or Slido slide time. So I'm going to have you guys answer just a couple questions, about 3, on this thing called Slido. And it just needs to load here. And you'll see the QR code on screen. And if you use that with your phone, it will pull you to the website. And then you can place in that number. So it should be 3450 563. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of time until some people in the chat can let me know. And look at that. We've got live updates. Have you heard of the AgriMentor program previously? I'm just going to let it breathe for a minute or so, or maybe 2 minutes, so that we can get that number past about 15, hopefully.
While we're waiting, there is a question in the chat. Can we be both a mentor and a mentee?
That's a new question to me. Thank you, Lacey. I don't think I've ever heard that one before. Can you be both a mentor and a mentee?
Oh, Alfie, there is an answer in the chat.
Oh, great.
And I don't want to say the name.
So Adelphine from UCFO is here answering in the chat, which is a huge help. Thank you, Adelphine. So yes, you can be both a mentor and a mentee at the same time, which is really cool. So we're at 15 responses, and we're at 60 to 40. So that's pretty encouraging to me that we have about 3 out of 5 people have already heard of the AgriMentor program, which means the MSRs are really pounding the ground getting the info out, which makes me extremely happy. And comms have done such a great job too. So we have pretty good eyes on the program already. So I'm going to move us along. We've almost hit 20 responses, which makes me pretty happy. And we're going to go to the next one, which is a word cloud. So we should be able to push along. And if yes, so for that 60% of you, how did you hear about the AgriMentor program? And we have the first response, Austin. Well, I guess I've been out there telling people about it. That's good. We have at least 4 participants typing. And we're just going to let this one breathe until we get up to about 20 participants. Well, actually, it would be less. We'll do it for about 10 or 15.
So Austin, while we're waiting on that one, there's another question. If
Go
you
ahead.
are a retired farmer, would there be a role for us as a mentor?
I believe so. If you have experience to impart on our young women in ag or women in ag in need, I think that would absolutely be welcomed. You are absolutely welcome to apply to the program.
And thanks, Lacey and Jane, for your questions so far. Really love those questions.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And I know Jane. Jane would be fabulous.
So Jane, sign up, please. Okay, we've hit 10 in the poll. I think that's pretty good. So Newswire, so our comm staff really working hard to get the word out there. Social media, Newswire in 2 words, myself, OFA advertising, and then some people on farm or around the ag industry. That's interesting information. So thank you for participating in that. And we have one last slide out here. So are you more likely to participate as an AgriMentor or mentee after today's presentation?
So as we were waiting for this one, we've got another one. These are perfect.
Oh, this is great.
Where on the website can we apply to be a mentee?
Okay, so earlier in the chat, you'll see that we had a link. So ucfo.ca/AgriMentor individual. So if you scroll up in the chat and click on that, you can click on learn more. It might be in French when you go. It might be in English. You can change it to English on their website. And then it will pull you to the page that we explored earlier. Maybe you joined later. So here's the chat. Thank you, Roxanne. We click on that link, pulls you to the site, click learn more, and then you can click on sign me up. And that should bring you to the page that we looked at prior. So we've hit about 15, 16 responses on our Slido here. And even though some people, about 40%, don't think it's for them, we have what is actually a majority of people on the call, 60% saying they either want to take part as a mentor and mentee. And that makes me really excited that 60% of us want to be in there. So we are having a couple difficulties with language, but that's okay. So if you can't find the English to French switch through their website, if you're using Google as your given web browser, you can use that tool to also change it to English language. There should be a prompt if you typically work in English, and it should take you there. At the end of the presentation, I will rerun through these slides in just a minute so that we can go through the process of getting to that sign up page again. So don't worry about that if you're having trouble. And if we go back, we have now we have an overwhelming, still at around 60% of yes, I want to be a mentee or a mentor, which is really exciting there. So I think I'm going to close our activity on Slido and go back to running through how to sign up for the program. So if we click that link that's been provided in the chat, you should arrive here. And we see, yes, AgriMentor, becoming a mentee or mentor right here. So we click on those green or white button in French or English, and it will take us to either this page here or this page, depending on which one you clicked on. Then at the bottom, you'll see sign me up right here at the bottom in the green bar. So if you find that green bar, that's going to pull you to a page that looks something like this, which I took a screenshot of. And again, you're just going to put in a little bit of information here and you'll scroll down, which will then take you to more questions and info. And then you just continue along the pages as you fill in. So I think that's about it for content from me. I would like, if you have any other questions, we've been very lucky to get questions throughout the Slido portion. Or if Adelphine or Roxanne from UCFO would like to make any closing notes, I'd love to open up the floor now.
Any questions? You can raise your hand or just go off mute or put in the chat.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Austin. This is Adelphine. It was a very good presentation. I really thank you for dedicating this time to present AgriMentor to your member. As you mentioned, we are hosting a training session for mentors at the end of March. So if you sign in, I will probably send you the link of the training to participate on materials. If you're not sure if you would like to be a mentor or not, just come in and then you will decide after if you would like to continue or not. Also for mentees, probably matching will start again in April because every mentor we have for the time being are already paired with other mentees. This is why we're recruiting. So we really thank you for this time and to all those who will apply to this program. We also thank you for the interest you're giving to this program. Thank you.
Oh, that's really great. Thanks, Adelphine. And we had one more comment in the chat there from Carolyn, and she asked, is it only open to OFA members or is it open to all women in ag? And the answer is, it's for women in ag. We want to encourage women to join the AgriMentor program. This is a nationally funded program, and we would be happy to have you in the program. So will we be emailing a link of the recording of this session to registered participants? I hadn't anticipated doing a follow-up e-blast, but what I did commit to was we were going to have the recording posted on our YouTube channel. So in the coming days, if you checked OFA's YouTube channel, you should be able to find it there. I believe our YouTube is Ontario Farms, but if you just type into Google OFA or Ontario Federation of Ag YouTube, you should find us right away.
If you go to OFA's website, on the top, it'll say resources and a menu will pop down. Under webinars, this will be added. Yeah. So all the lunch and learns will be added to our website after they're finished. Just wait a little bit, a couple days.
It takes time to get it uploaded to the website. Yeah. And we have a couple more comments. So Roxanne, for those of us who don't know, is the director of UCFO, and she's absolutely fantastic. And I really thank her for all her work on the AgriMentor program and advocating for our Francophone farmers. So as she mentioned, I'm very happy to answer any questions that you have. My web email will be on our website, and yeah, I'd be thrilled to help.
Are there any other questions? If you don't think about them now, that's fine. If you have questions later, Austin is at our head office, and I'm sure he would be happy to talk to you and answer any questions that you come up with later. But I don't see any further questions, which is totally fine. We arrange an hour for these lunch and learns, but they don't always take an hour. So I am sure people have other things to do, although it is starting to get a little bit nasty outside, so you may not want to go out there anyway. But seeing no more questions, and I don't see any hands, I will thank Austin. Austin has done a wonderful job promoting this to Ontario farmers. He's the one behind all these lunch and learn today. He's behind all the social media posts that get e-blasted. The information comes from Austin. So thank you so much, Austin, for all your work in this. And I'm excited about, you know, how many people we're going to be getting signed up in Ontario, and what this will do for the farming community and women in ag.
Thanks, Joanne. I really appreciate that. I'm also excited. So thank you, everyone who came today. I hope you do sign up, and I hope that you get a lot out of the program. We're very proud of it. So thank you all.
Perfect. Thank you so much.